Hello and welcome back to Lessons in Attachment. It is a part 5 of my 6-part mini training, Becoming Unstuck. And today we're moving around that cycle, that reactive cycle that we can get stuck in. And today we are focusing on behaviours, your actions, and the role that that plays in who we want to be, in reaching our goals, in breaking free from cycles. Let's backtrack a second to the first training. And I want you to take a moment just to reflect on who it is that you want to be. Not what job you want, not what you want to own, not that there's anything wrong with thinking about those things right now, but for now, I want you to consider who you want to be as a person. Confident, calm in conflict, maybe someone who doesn't overthink so much, someone who feels happier. We all can have that image in our mind of that ideal self, but wanting it, having the image, whilst I believe is important, having that image often isn't enough. Well, not often, it's not enough. We don't become that person just by wanting it. We become that version of ourselves through what we do and what we don't do every single day. How we show up day to day, the habits in our daily lives, that has an influence on getting to where we want to be and who we want to be. The decisions that you're making daily, that influences, hello, if you're joining me live on Instagram, that influences us reaching the point that we want to reach in our lives. Imagine it like this. Everything you do, every action, every habit, every choice is like taking a step each day. Every step takes you in a direction. It takes you towards the person you want to be, or it takes you away from the person that you want to be. It is a more self-loving step, or it's a less self-loving step. I'm not talking about perfection. I hope I've made that really clear across these mini trainings. I'm not talking about perfection. It doesn't mean getting it right all the time. Does it mean that we never trip, we never fall? But it does mean we need to be aware of the impact of our behaviors and our actions, how we show up, the things that we're doing and what we're not doing. If you are someone who values self-respect and you're not showing that self-respect in how you're showing up in your relationships or dating, if you're chasing people, if you are doing things that do not feel very self-respectful, maybe you're in a moment of panic, maybe you're sending that long message trying to convince someone to stay. But there are times where we act out of alignment, and that behavior takes us away from the version of ourselves where we know our worth and we feel our worth. Maybe you want to feel calm and grounded, and you know that walking or journaling or guided meditations really help that. But instead, you're spending your time scrolling. It's not like you're doing something wrong, but it's not a step in the direction towards who you want to be. And when we're not behaving and acting in a way that is aligned with the future that we see for ourselves, we usually do not feel very good. We go back to the feelings. Remember, what we do impacts how we feel. And it's not just what you do, it's also what you don't do. Really think about that. It's also what you don't do. You might be doing things that help you actually, and you also might be not doing things that can help you. You might be doing things that don't help you. And that is human. Sometimes we're doing things that aren't helpful. Sometimes we're doing things that are helpful. Sometimes we're not doing the things. So it's just as important to think about what you're not doing as well as what you are doing. Sometimes we're falling into avoidance. Sometimes we are avoiding doing the things that we know will help us because we're afraid, because there is a fear within us, and that is influencing what we do. Sometimes we are waiting to feel motivated before we take that action. Sometimes we're waiting to feel confident before we take that action. What I'm here to say is, what if we took action anyway? What if we allowed our motivation and our confidence to follow our action? We all act against our values sometimes. We all act against the habits that align with who we want to be. We all slip into old patterns and cycles and reactions as a form of self-protection. When we notice that, it's really powerful. When we pause in the moment and ask ourselves, is this moving me closer or further away from who I want to be? Is this a vote for the future I want or not? And if the answer is no, can you make a shift? If the answer is no, you will be able to dive into the toolbox that I'm giving inside Stuck to Secure. We start Stuck to Secure on Friday. Do not wait any longer. Take that action. Say yes to yourself. A 21-day challenge is happening from Friday. That's what this mini training is all about. To introduce you to Stuck to Secure. For 21 days, you will be given a brand new evidence-based practical tool to help you go from stuck to secure, to help you act in ways that are aligned with the version of you that you want to be, even when you have fears, to help you show up even when it feels hard, even if you don't feel motivated. You're going to have the accountability, the motivation from me, the support. If you know that your behaviors need your attention and need change, I really encourage you to take that action, to say yes to yourself and join Stuck to Secure. But before we sort of bring this to an end, because I've digressed on the course, because I can't believe I start in 2 days. And actually today I have sent out an introduction to the members of Stuck to Secure so far. So a little bit of hello, can't wait to start. So if you are watching this and you're part of it, make sure you check the Telegram or check your emails. Okay, so your takeaway for today. I want you to begin to be really mindful of your behaviors, your habits, even in your silences, especially when it's just you on your own. Yeah, because they are creating something, they're creating your reality. Every time that you act with intention, you are moving yourself towards the version of you that you want to be and deserve to be. When we're on autopilot, when we're in those habitual patterns, that's when we might be falling into patterns that can move us away. We don't know unless we start to act with more intention, more curiosity, and more consciousness. Remember that you don't need to get it right straight away. So your takeaway from this is to start asking yourself today, straight after watching this, is this behavior helping me become who I want to be? Is the way I'm acting, is the way that I want to act in this moment, because we get urges, don't we? We get those cravings and temptations. Is this moving me towards or away who I want to be? And that can help you to make a decision, but we can only do that if we are more conscious. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you want to continue this journey with me, if you want to have me as your support, if you want to walk away with 21 brilliant, practical, evidence-based tools to support you with your triggers, your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors and your actions, and then your physical somatic somatic sensations that I'm going to be coming back and speaking to you about tomorrow, and join Stuck to Secure. Ideal if you are in a place of needing some self-discovery, some motivation, some support, a boost, some accountability. We start Friday the 1st, and I will be back here tomorrow for the last part of our mini training.